Everybody gets angry, but you know what they say, too much of everything's not good for you. I knew that something was wrong. I knew that I was just getting angry. And with anger, I have seen blind rage. And with blind rage, I haven't seen any good consequences. There was an example where I had a conversation and it went out of control. I could have allowed it just to go through me, but I chose to be a sponge. I chose to absorb everything. And it ended with me smashing bowls, plates, and on another occasion a door got smashed. And the result of that left me without my son for a little while. The one thing that stands out is the fact that I'm in the wrong. I asked myself, why? Why did I do it? Was it worth it? And what could I have done to prevent it? You know, these are things that I could have prevented just by ensuring that I had some time to myself just to think of my actions before I actually pursued them. The first mistake should have given me an understanding that I needed help. But then when it happened a second time, I said, this has to change because my son's still young. He needs his father. Being a positive role model to my son is something that I've always wanted to do. And that all he sees in me is positivity in order for him just to see more of me, to see me as a good father. I thought I was alone, but when I joined the group, it molded me into a better person. It showed me where I've gone wrong. It showed me different levels of anger. It showed me what things would be like if you're calm and what things would be like if you're upset. I couldn't do this on my own. I had to find myself in a group where I was in the room with people who had a similar situation as me. Not experiencing what I experienced, but just the anger issues. It's good to get everybody's point of view so you realise that you're not on your own. It's okay to speak about anger, but it's also okay to do something about it.
An incident happened where I was driving down a road, a car running to the side of me. I pulled in front of him, blocked him off, jumped out of the car, his door's locked. That just escalated my rage. I ended up kicking his door, jumping on his window screen, stamping on his window screen. Kids were crying, his wife were crying. I'm begging him to get out. I honestly wanted to kill him. I realised I needed help quickly, so I contacted Barca, that did this men's group that catered for men with anger issues. And I got there, and you're surrounded with people in the same situation of all ages, and they all share their experiences. When I told the story in the group about the incident with the car, the people there asked me, how do you think them poor children must have been in your back? None of that entered my head until I've been to group, and it made me realise that there's a consequence to our actions. And just being able to share your story and listen to their stories, you go on this journey with them, and week by week you see them progressing, and after maybe a month or so you see the difference to when they came in. I would take a little bit of what was said each week through members of the group, through the two counsellors that were there, and I focused on that bit. For the information that I got and the help that I got from group, made me realise next time I get in the car, do you know something? It doesn't matter what he does. It doesn't matter what she does. Okay, it's a mistake, and we all make them. You're locked up in this world of anger, and things are going on in your head all the time. You're reliving all these things that you've done. Going to this group unlocks doors for you to go out, and suddenly you think, I've got a different life. I've got friends. I've got people who want to talk to me. People want to go for a coffee. They want to go out for a drink. God, I didn't get this before. By going to the group, that's given me my life back. That group has unlocked the door for me and allowed me to walk free.
He could make a tea and be fine. He could leave the room and come back to pick the tea up, and it would just be like a vibe. It was a look that he wore on his face. It just used to come over him. It was almost like you could taste the anger.
If you think of your emotion as like a tank of water and like that water sort of drips, it's a slow dripping. But every drip fills the tank up just that little bit more until you get to the top and you've got nowhere for that drip to go. So it has to then start pouring out of the tank. And it came out as, you know, as not really as emotion. It came out as nastiness, really, because it was, you know, it was kind of an internal, loathing might be a strong word, but it was like an internal sort of, you know something's wrong here, but you don't want to admit it. So instead, the way you push that away is by pushing away the people around you and pretending everything's all right.
And then you leaked from time to time.
And then it started to flow out. It didn't just like trickle out. The trickle became a bit of a flow, and then it started to gush out, and eventually that, you know, it just led to a really bad atmosphere, and I was just in complete denial.
It's not easy to tell somebody who behaves like that they need help, because obviously it would have been me that would have got the brunt of how that made him feel.
If someone mentioned my sort of mental health or my emotional state, that would definitely cause 2 or 3 days of hell. All the guys in the group, very different stories. It's a place for you to go and be free to explore how you feel about yourself and about the world around you and how you interact with people and how you deal with stuff. Anger is just one of those things that happens to you when you can't deal with what's going on with your life.
He's now got those skills where he realises not everything reflects on him, and that sometimes life's just annoying and frustrating and hurtful, and that it's okay and it's not his fault, and he can understand that a little bit more, I think, and not take everything so personally.